Not one of your slick football games tonight.
Not really. It's a very poorly played game if you want to know the truth.
Well, I'll just be more diplomatic about it.
For the level that professional football is supposed to attain, let's listen to the call.
Illegal motion on the flanker. Offense declined. Third period.
Third period. That's interesting.
Yeah,
he's got that right. Second down and third down and 7. I'll tell you, it's tough down there, and the poor officials, they've been pounded on and hounded on. There's such tremendous magnification involved in pro football today, and every time they make an error, boy, it's just blown all out of proportion. If they are going to make errors, they're all judgment calls. Third down 7. Man open, and Grogan overthrows Stanley Morgan.
Simply a terrible throw. Stanley Morgan wide open. Grogan having a dreadful night. Threw behind him and over him.
How do you think Grogan has played so far tonight, Howard?
What?
I said, how do you think Grogan has played so far tonight?
I think it's apparent.
Not well.
No intent to pick on him as a young man.
No, he has not played well. You're absolutely right.
Only to report the facts. We are not puppets here.
Puppets.
Darrell Wilson is on. 8, Marshall Johnson, Joe Washington. Johnson's 80, Washington 27. Wilson aims it high. I don't believe he intended to angle for the out of bounds, but he collects it at the 17-yard line. So fine punt by Wilson. Baltimore starting in trouble.
The car can do a lap in 60 seconds. You can do the car in 19. And that's the way it has to be, because you don't win races on the track unless you win them in the pit first. And now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
Miller beer. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
Just when you thought we only make economy cars, along comes our yacht, the luxurious Datsun 810. Remote control trunk lid, gas lid, electric outside mirror, digital clock, stereo, tilt wheel, power steering, reclining bucket seats, electric warning system, and fuel injection. All standard. The Datsun 810. We demanded it all for you.
Michigan Notre Dame headlines regional games, then USC battles Alabama. Check local listings for NCAA football Saturday.
It's a rainy night in Foxborough. The Patriots over the Colts 13-7. A sloppily played game. 6:05 remaining in the third quarter. A hard-hitting game, nevertheless. Baltimore coming out really with their pride on the line tonight, and they have put on a pretty bitter fight against a much stronger New England team. And here comes Roosevelt Leaks, right side. And Roosevelt is really popped. He's hit there by Doug Bedoin. Gain of a couple. It'll be second down and 8. Roosevelt Leaks, like Grogan, he was a 5th-round draft pick after a spectacular career at the University of Texas, but going into his senior year, he suffered a knee injury. And there was some question after a kind of a slow senior year at the University of Texas whether or not he would be able to make it as a professional. Well, he has. The ball at the 20, second down and 7. With Washington. And Washington collected there by number 57, Steve Nelson. Treated rather rudely. Gain a couple, it'll be 3rd and 3.
Says, don't come over here in my territory, man. What are you talking about? This is my land.
Those inside linebackers for New England are big. They could really play in the line if they wanted to. Nelson's 230, Hunt's 250.
Bulldogging them.
Baltimore player shaken up, being attended to. 5:07 remaining in the third quarter. And it is Roosevelt Leaks, the big fullback, 220-pounder. There he is.
He too came out of he came out of the University of Texas and also had a knee problem early. Slowed him down a little bit. He missed a lot of action in Baltimore. And that appears he's limping. I hope it's not that same knee. I hope it's not either knee.
More than likely had the wind knocked out of him. Washington held short of the first down. 3rd down and 7.
All right, let's see. He's going in on a lead block.
Richard Bishop gave Roosevelt Leaks a shot, and he's gone to the sidelines. 3rd and 3. Troop.
He got
and he finds Roger Carr. First down.
The pass to Roger Carr went out of bounds off the 32-yard line.
Baltimore far from out of this game. He's 5 for 10 now, is Bill Troop, 68 yards.
He liked that. He completed one.
This is the absolute worst conditions, I think, to throw a ball, because it has been raining constantly since the beginning. And if it's even, you never can get your hands dry or the ball dry. You'll see him trying to wait in the last minute to put the ball down, the referee. But it's still wet, so that thing is pretty hard to throw.
Steve Grogan, I think, right there would agree with you, Don. He's had a bad night. On 1st and 10, Washington keeps one man off Troop, and Troop fires down to Roger Carr, and he holds on at midfield.
He was wide open. It was right in the middle of 3 defensive players for New England, but that ball was right there that time.
Now the game quickens in interest because Baltimore is on the move. And this team, which had been in the doldrums of the worst order, coming into this game has a chance to beat a highly favored opponent.
You saw Troop flood his backs right. He got what he wanted. Individual coverage. Mike Haynes against Roger Carr. He gets the completion, the first down. 49-yard line of New England, and here comes their Washington. Washington gets 5 yards, and this young man's doing a lot of it on his own.
He really is. He wiggles, he squirms, he's in there, he's unafraid, and he's quick.
I tell you, New England's going to get themselves in a lot of trouble here. Baltimore is beginning to say we can win this football game.
I really think that's right, Frank. I think that when they held them on that first series of downs in the 3rd quarter,
they can keep away from the big mistake. The turnover. That's what's hurt them in the first 2 games. Washington puts the head down, drive, fumbles, and that's the mistake.
That's it.
That's exactly right. The key turnover.
Steve Nelson, number 57, gets the turnover from Baltimore and stops the drive.
Trying to get to the outside. They missed that slip block on Nelson. Pursues down the line of scrimmage. He actually made the tackle. Did he get the coverage and cover the fumble too? I believe he did. Reached in there and got it.
Very versatile. 3:19 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Timeout, and we'll be back in Foxborough in a moment.
The Hilton Rainbow Service welcome. Look for it on your next business trip. In the nation's capital, it's minutes from Pennsylvania Avenue at the Washington Hilton. In Los Angeles, you'll find Rainbow Service near the Civic Center at the Los Angeles Hilton. While in San Francisco, it's just a cable car ride from almost anywhere. Hilton Rainbow Service. You'll find it at the heart of every Hilton, in the heart of most every city.
There's no place like Hilton.
I can't believe they can do it for $19.99.
Installed?
The aluminized Sears muzzler is only $19.99 installed. And read the muzzler promise.
Sears promises that the muzzler will last as long as you own your American-made car.
Or return it for refund or replacement free.
And if Sears installed it, they'll install the new one, free.
Well, you can't beat that.
I think it's fantastic.
It's a great promise.
Sounds like one heck of a good deal.
The muzzler, only $19.99 installed. Only at Sears.
That's the story. A wet night. A slippery football, a lot of turnovers. Baltimore, golden opportunity. Washington gave up the fumble. Steve Nelson recovered. First down, New England. They lead 13-7. They have the ball at their own 41-yard line. Here comes Andy Johnson, and he's been the workhorse tonight for New England. He gets 5 more. It'll be 2nd and 5. Hit there by Mike Ozdowski.
New England has to realize they've got a crisis that they didn't expect. Not a serious thing. They're ahead, but not even by the margin of a conversion, and they've had all kinds of trouble in moving the football tonight, as Steve Grogan has had a very difficult evening.
Johnson, it's raining harder. Johnson with 88 yards on the night. He's been the offense for New England. with the exception of the one long touchdown pass. Andy Johnson gets it again. This time Baltimore stiffens defensively, and Johnson's held to a couple. But 3rd down and 4. Ed Simonetti in there on the stop. And it's beginning to pour.
Look at that rain. Frank and I are supposed to fly to New York tonight, a chartered plane. I may let the Gifford do it on his own.
Oh, you'll be there. Emmy's there.
Yankees won 4-3. That's a final. Detroit and Boston in an extra inning, 4-4 tie.
3rd down, 4. The motion man, Johnson. Dumps it off to Cunningham. Good open field tackle. Cunningham had no chance, and it was number 30, Doug Nettles, who is doing a fine job at the defensive corner for Baltimore.
He really read that play perfectly. Clean hit, fine one-on-one tackle.
2 times turnovers, 2 times no first downs by New England. That's got to make that Baltimore defense feel a lot better.
Marshall Johnson, Joe Washington.
Gerald Wilson is out, and deep goes Marshall Johnson and Joe Washington once again. Crowd of a little under 58,000. Capacity here 61,000. Quite a tribute to the fans who turn out to support this ball club. Wilson, end over end. Johnson, fair catch called for, made at the 20. 106 remaining now in the 3rd quarter. 32-yard punt. Baltimore now will have a first down at their 20. Now let's see if they can get it moving again.
They need one big break. They're on their way. They had the unfortunate fumble and turnover after the tackle by Steve Nelson. But this club has doggedly hung together tonight.
36 is Don Hardiman. He's in the backfield now for Baltimore. Leak stays on the sidelines. He was shaken up. You saw a moment ago. Washington gets the call. Skirts to the outside and loses another jersey. Gets a yard and a half. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
You saw Lunsford. He was a little disgusted with the jersey that he wound up with. He thought he had him for a loss. Wound up gaining about a yard.
Under any circumstances, Washington was behind closed doors.
Oh, it's a rainy night in Boston town.
Bill Cosby will call in a moment.
It's going to be one of those days.
2nd down, call it 9. Root draws a crowd, dumps it off, and it goes to Ron Lee.
Oh, yes.
And here comes Lee. He's got the speed. The big man turns it on and gets out to the 46-yard line.
I like that Ron Lee. Mentioned it 2 weeks ago in the Dallas game. Frank and I saw Ron Lee against Houston a couple of years ago, and he broke the game wide open.
Sam Hunt misses right there. Sam had a bad angle, and Ron Lee does the rest of it. Picks up a couple of blocks.
You're watching another exclusive of ABC Sports, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. New England 13, Baltimore 7. We'll return for the 4th quarter in just a moment.
ABC News brings you closer to where the news is happening.
Today, the House of Representatives.
With Frank Reynolds in Washington, Max Robinson in Chicago, Peter Jennings in London, and special interviews by Barbara Walters. Fast becoming television's most watchable news. World News Tonight.
begin the fourth quarter. You can see the rain coming down. It's also coming partially into our booth, affecting our equipment here. One of our monitors with a little bit of a problem. A lot of the fans staying on, however. New England frustrated with their play tonight, I'm sure. Baltimore has to be delighted, particularly with their defense. They performed well. 1st and 10 Baltimore, 46-yard line, their own 46. Toss goes to Washington, and he can pass. He has a man wide open.
He's got Roger Carr.
Roger Carr.
How do you like that?
I liked it. Joe Washington.
54-yard Baltimore touchdown.
Well, they call him napping.
The guy who has to be the happiest man in the country at the moment in terms of football is Ted Marsha-Broda. He said his team would hang together, and tonight he's being proved right.
Hey, that wasn't a bad pass. He put that right on his
right there. He sure did.
New England completely suckered.
I believe that's Haynes he's working on over there. He came up to force that one. He just caught him, man.
It's amazing how often it works. Carr made a good move, like he was going down maybe to put a block on, went right by Haynes. Wide open, and Baltimore is a conversion away from taking the lead.
Haynes moved up expecting the run. Baltimore's conversion is good.
Linhart puts Baltimore out in front, 14-13, and we're just underway in the fourth quarter. Sit back, enjoy, stay with us. We've got a football game.
Why are car shoppers everywhere deciding on Datsun?
When it came to price, Datsun was the car for us.
I was looking for a sporty car, but I wanted to keep the economy in mind.
Good record for engineering and dependability.
And it was in my price range, and everything I wanted, I got in my price range.
I expected a lot, but I got more than I expected.
It turned out to be a super deal.
Year-end deals on Datsun quality. We are dealing.
We
Take care of the pennies, and the dollars will take care of themselves.
You should be healthy, wealthy, and wise.
With money as tight as it is, more people are coming to Sunoco's penny pinching pump for $1.90, the quality gas that sells below our regular, and $2.20. It sells below our premium. And most cars that run on regular or premium can use them. So come to Sunoco's penny pinching pump.
Don't let money burn a hole in your pocket.
Because a penny saved is truly a penny earned.
This week, 2 nights of prime-time pro football action. Sunday night, the Patriots take on the Raiders. Then Monday night, the Vikings battle the Bears on ABC.
So, right, we're going to get you next weekend. Yes, Howard?
Well, I'll tell you this. You've got to give the Baltimore Colts all kinds of credit. The great quarterback Burt Jones out, Herb Orvis out, Ron Fernandez out, Norm Thompson out, Stan White out, Mike Woods out, George Kunz out, David Taylor out, Mike Ciani out, Nelson Munzie out, Joe Ehrman not here tonight, deep personal family reasons. And the Colts leading the New England Patriots in the fourth quarter, 14-13.
Linhart taps it. Claiborne from his 5-yard line. Claiborne dances around the 25-yard line, goes out of bounds at the 26. Ron Lee hustling down there to make sure that Claiborne doesn't do what he likes to do, and that's return kickoffs. He took 3 of them back last year for touchdowns.
Let me add that Don McCauley suffered a sprained shoulder. He's out. They took Roosevelt Leaks off. Hardeman and Lee in there. This is really, when you put it in perspective, astonishing.
1st and 10, New England. Strange picture coming your way. The field now collecting a lot of water. It's been pouring now for the last 20 or 30 minutes. Rogan hands off to Andy Johnson, and the Baltimore defense that's played well all night long senses they've got something going.
There's Roger Carr, who made the touchdown catch on the pass by Joe Washington, who is positively scintillated tonight. And in the meantime, Baltimore's defense closing in on the run, and Grogan terribly ineffective all night. 3 out of 15.
Johnson just back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a foot. It's 2nd down and 10. Grogan, quick setup.
There's one.
Out and it goes to Stanley Morgan, and he makes the completion out to the 32-yard line. A pickup of 7. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
I'm a great believer in picking up those little short ones. When you're having a bad night, you're not throwing that ball real well anyway. You got to get something going. Take that little 5-yard square out, get back in the rhythm, get used to successful.
Yeah, but they got good yardage to make. If you got, it looks more like 4, Frank. If you've got 2nd and 4, that's great. But he hasn't been using the 1st down effectively all night.
Jackson right, Morgan left.
Pick it up, Peggy, coming this way.
Grogan has the time and no receiver. He'll pick up the 1st down. And more. Grogan down to the 43-yard line. He can move. Lloyd Mumford takes him out of bounds, and New England, which has over the past 3 years been fired up with this kind of play rather than Grogan's passing ability, gets it once again.
He just pulled it down and took off. You're going to pick up a few 1st downs like this. And it is just a little, I guess, added weapon that you can have with that quarterback.
What you have to remember is that their place kicker, John Smith, has a troublesome leg and actually missed a conversion, after which he hobbled off the field.
New England now from their own 43. Bushaman, Westbrook, handoff goes Johnson. And Johnson to the 45, and bobbles the ball. And Baltimore comes up with it. It's Lyle Blackwood, I do believe, number 44. Yes, it is. It was John Dutton who made the hit on Andy Johnson. Out came the ball, and Lyle Blackwood, who led the NFL in interceptions last year, was Johnny on the spot once again.
There's a cut back in.
There's Dick Job.
That's right.
And Blackwood is there. So Baltimore, good field position on the turnover. The 46-yard line of New England. 13:40 remaining in the game, and Baltimore leads by 1, 14-13. The big man, Hardiman, who was acquired this year from Tampa after he'd been traded there for Anthony Davis from Houston. He was a 1st-round draft pick of Houston back in '75.
He was highly regarded by all scouts. He had one reasonable year for Houston.
As a rookie.
And then, that's right, then did nothing, and he became travel. Boston against Detroit. They're playing the bottom of the 11th. The Red Sox hanging in there, leading by a run.
2nd and 10. Hardiman gets the call again. And Hardiman pursued and dropped. Nelson and Zabel both there.
So easy to see up here, but you see Nelson going to the outside. Hardiman chose to try to outrun him to the outside. He could have possibly cut in behind that block he had there. But he still picked up a yard, 2 maybe.
Big down for the Colts. They want to keep possession. They want to score again, of course, if they can, but they also want to make that clock work for them.
12:38, and the clock is moving. 3rd down and 8. The ball at the 43-yard line of New England. Group, man in the gap.
Now he did.
Roger Carr.
Good throw. That's one of the best throws by either quarterback all night, right in the slot.
So that was a combination between the two of them. Roger read the zone, so did Troop. He slowed down, did not run his fly, and Troop was right in between 2 defenders, Claiborne and Fox.
Hard ball to throw, Frank. You see all those other colored jerseys out there, and you just have a tendency to take a little something off of it.
What you have to remember here is you look at Roger Carr with that perfectly thrown pass by Troop is that with Tony Linhart, Baltimore is already in field goal position.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Hardiman. Bangs into Mel Lunsford.
Oh, those guys really closed down that line. That's the outside men. There was nowhere to go. You don't really expect those guys, you don't design it to block it. But that was Lunsford that came in, and Bishop came in. Met him right in the middle before he could make up a yard.
It'll be 2nd down and 8. The ball at the 22, and Roger Carr on the night, 5 receptions, 120 yards. Bill Troop, his statistics beginning to be impressive. Washington Washington.
Oh, they got that one, too.
Across the backs, and they read that beautifully.
That was
foul up there. Ray Hamilton sliding over from the nose guard. Getting help from Schote.
Time is not yet a critical factor. We've got 11:25 to go and counting down in this ball game. But Baltimore sure would like to keep using that clock, and this has become another critical down for that reason. But they are in field goal position.
Loss of a little more than a yard. It's 3rd down and 9.
He's got Joe Washington all
wide
alone.
open. It's
Yes,
Washington.
sir. Oh, that was pretty. He had him on Nelson most all the way.
Isolated him on the linebacker. Washington having a brilliant game and suddenly making the Lydell Mitchell trade favorable to Baltimore.
You could just see it. Nelson moves late. You see number 57 in there. It actually wasn't Nelson that was on him. I called that one.
Rod Schote. But he'll never stay with a setback. The linebacker covering the setback is what you always want to get if you can work it out.
I think he just really kind of hesitated at one step, Frank, and Schote does have the great speed, but not like Washington's, and that one step was what it was, and Washington was around him on the outside.
Eddie Marchibroda watching his troops roar back. Tony Leonard on for the conversion.
Yeah, well, that was a good idea, but it
2
doesn't
for the
count.
night. No good. Blocked.
Big point.
Yes, sir.
Big point. 10 minutes, 59 seconds left. Almost 11 minutes. Teddy didn't like that one bit.
Strong potential for overtime. Let's look at it again. Kirkland is the holder. A slippery ball. It came down late, and he kicked it low. Kirkland having a hard time getting the handle on it and set it down. And right now, the Colts lead over the Patriots 20-13. Don't go away.
Right back in there.
Gordon Hall has a headache.
I don't like the feeling that I get when I have a pressure or tension headache.
Is this the aspirin product that you normally take?
Yeah, that's right.
Are you familiar with Tylenol?
Only the name. And I see here it contains no aspirin.
Will you try extra strength Tylenol?
Okay.
Compare the levels of medicine in the leading regular and extra ingredient pain relievers. Extra strength Tylenol has more medicine for your headache.
The headache is entirely gone.
What pain reliever would you choose the next time?
I would go out and I would buy extra strength Tylenol, predicated on what I have just seen.
How do you feel about the rest of the afternoon and your evening now?
I'm ready to go.
Extra strength Tylenol in tablets, capsules, and now available in new adult liquid. When used as directed, you get Tylenol safety, and you can't buy a more potent pain reliever without a prescription.
It's a 17th anniversary tomorrow. I just went out and bought her a nice card, and combined with the total alleviation of my headache, I feel like a new man.
20-13, 10:59 remaining in the game. Baltimore surprising here in the second half. Super defensive effort throughout the game, and now the offense with Joe Washington leading the way has put them out in front. You look at Ray Claiborne, and he is well behind his customary statistics. Well, look out for him. He can move. Claiborne from his 4.
There's trouble right there.
It's all over. Hit Lenhart. Will he get there?
I think he
did.
did.
I'll be doggone.
Yes, sir.
9-4 sprinter. Ray Claiborne and Lenhart save the touchdown.
That may give the Patriots the very lift they need. They've been a slumbering, listless team all night. Quarterback has been unable to connect on his passing. The ground game has been contained by an inspired Baltimore defense.
And look at Lenhart. He's a great soccer player in his own country of Austria. Great downhill ski racer. And Ray Claiborne at that 9-4 speed returns at 60 yards. New England has the ball. 1st and 10 at Baltimore's 35. That's a great effort by Lenhart. Here comes Andy Johnson. Johnson, following Sam Adams, has to turn it back into the middle. He turns back into Mike Ozdowski.
Ozdowski, by the way, filling in for Joe Ehrman, has done a substantial job all night.
And it really is not his position. He's playing inside when He ordinarily would be expected to be on the outside defensive end. There's Claiborne, #1 draft pick a year ago. Great track star out of the University of Texas. Ran 3 kickoffs back for touchdowns last year, won 101 yards. 2nd and 10. Grogan, good protection, fires over the middle and picked off.
What a great interception.
Ed Simonini.
Oh, they got a little shot going out there. Grogan and picking on. You can't be kidding.
I can't believe he's in it with John Dutton.
Neither can I. Grogan, something's wrong, boy.
This has been nonetheless an amazing performance by the Baltimore Colts. And you got to give them all the credit in the world. They're playing an inspired game. They sense the victory. They've been opportunistic, and we'll be right back.
I've been thinking about the market lately.
My broker says now's a good time to look into tax-free income. What'd your broker say?
Well, my broker's E.F. Hutton, and E.F. Hutton says...
When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
Why are truck shoppers everywhere deciding on Datsun?
It's saving me quite a bit of money. It's a 5-speed overdrive transmission. It handles beautifully. 5th gear saves you the most gas. It has reclining seats, which you don't get in the smaller cabs. I can reach right over, pull it up. Everything's easy to get to. You can actually abuse these vehicles and they'll hold up.
Year-end deals on Datsun quality trucks. We are dealing.
We Michigan, Notre Dame headlines regional games. Then USC battles Alabama. Check local listings for NCAA football Saturday.
You have to be in the right place at the right time, Don. This is Ed Simonini. He'll get the deflection from Darrell Luce.
Great reactions, Frank. You'll see he's making that move. Darrell Luce is the one that broke it up out of Texas A&M. Now that's really good. A guy that you're talking about, he's not that big, but he's big enough to play that middle linebacker and make moves like that.
1st and 10, Baltimore, their own 28-yard line. Washington, he's been the man of the night for Baltimore, loses another jersey. And he also picks up 3 yards, moving out over the 30-yard line, close to the 32. That's his 3rd jersey of the night.
They'll get him some more.
2nd down, 7. Nelson's having himself quite a night.
Well, they really are all kind of pushing that thing around. You'll see him just keep moving back and forth. You got Rod Schultz, number 56, is the guy that wound up with the jersey that time.
2nd down, 6. And off goes to Ron Lee. Lee hammers out a yard and a half. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
The thing about Washington tonight has been the diversification of his effectiveness. He threw the touchdown pass to Roger Carr. He caught the touchdown pass from Bill Troop. He has been the steady-going ground gainer all night long. A brilliant all-around performance.
All out at the 34-yard line. Glenn Dowdy, Roger Carr, both wide receivers, both flanked to the right. There you see him, bottom of your screen. And Troop looking for time. Has the time, and he's going for Carr.
He got it again.
Carr has the ball.
I'll be doggone if he didn't just...
No flags down, touchdown Baltimore. He took it right away from Raymond Claiborne.
He really did. They have just about clinched this football game. The New England Patriots fans are booing their team unmercifully. This has been an astonishing turn of events, and that man, Marsha Broda, has to be the happiest guy in the world, Don.
Well, the ball was thrown out there a long way. It wasn't particularly well thrown. He had to come back a little bit, and that's when Claiborne fell down. But you give Roger Carr a great deal of credit because he's the guy out there. He's looking back for it. Made his move. Didn't push off. He says, look at this. Can you believe it?
Baltimore, they did not have a point in the previous 2 games. Has 80 scored against them. They have run off 26 tonight. Roger Carr has been a big part of it, and we've already told you, Joe Washington has been the spark plug offensively, and while the defense has played well all night. Carr now 6 receptions, 187 yards.
Well, we used to say anything could happen on Monday Night Football, and this game would appear to be vivid evidence.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's right.
Roger Carr with that blazing speed. Had a troublesome year last year, only had 11 receptions, but remember in 76, 43 receptions, 11 touchdowns. Lenhart. It's good. And Baltimore extends their lead over New England, and if this won't surprise you, nothing will. 27-13, we'll be back.
Hey, how'd you like some free gasoline when you fill up?
I'd like it a lot.
Change to new Quaker State Sterling motor oil.
You're telling me an oil change?
We'll get you better gas mileage. See, Quaker State Sterling is a whole new kind of oil, specially blended to lubricate better than regular oils. Less friction, so your engine will work less hard.
And use less gasoline.
It'll be like getting extra gas for free. Change to new Quaker State Sterling. It's like getting free gas with every tankful.
The Goodyear Tiempo is the all-year radial proved last year. Tiempo was the steel-belted snow tire that got Frank Osso through last winter.
I haven't had any problems with my Tiempos all last year, wet ice or snow.
Tiempo was a rain tire from Nancy Bentz.
I didn't have any trouble with skidding, sliding, or stopping on the wet roads. I think they're great.
Tiempo is the snow tire, rain tire, sun tire, the one tire that does it all. Tiempo, one tire you can drive with confidence all year.
Baltimore over New England, 27-13. Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell. Don Meredith, 8:19 remaining in the game. Tony Lenhart sets it up. Ray Claiborne standing at the goal line, obviously distressed over his misplay and miscalculation of the pass from Toop to Roger Carr that resulted in that touchdown a moment ago. Claiborne from the 2.
Claiborne with the ball.
He is some kind of
and he pops another one, hits the seam, and goes out to the 39-yard line. Lyle Blackwood made the save.
He's a great kick runner. He gave them perfect field position last time, running it all the way down to around the 30. But New England has been doleful all night. Listless, turnovers, giving Baltimore the opportunities. Baltimore has been alive, opportunistic, employing great defense, and capitalizing on the New England mistakes with the big play on offense.
Hometown fans booing. Obviously, they would like to see Grogan replaced, but then they booed the dog at halftime trying to catch the Frisbee. Grogan goes to Anderson. Brother Johnson.
Well, you know, Grogan did not have a good preseason. I think you mentioned that. I don't know, Frank or Howard.
Well, at this point, you have to feel sympathy for him.
Well, the point is that Tom Owen did have a good preseason, but we were talking to the PR guy with the Patriots this morning, and he says, well, there's one thing about our coach. When he goes with a quarterback, he's going to go with him, and he doesn't pull him out. Owen didn't play early any last year, so I think we can probably expect to see Grogan for the rest of the night.
2nd down 10. Grogan, draw play. Handoff goes to Cunningham, and Cunningham barrels out to the 43-yard line. Gain of 3. Hit there by John Dutton.
Now the clock, of course, is the most consequential factor, and it's counting down. There are 7 minutes and 45 seconds left, and at 14 points behind, the chances for New England would appear slim indeed.
3rd down 7. Key play right now for New England. They have to get this drive, keep it moving. They put Harold Jackson. He's their #1 receiver. Top of your screen. Grogan wanted to go to Jackson, but he got knocked off. Grogan tries to get the first down, and he is on, and he coughs it up, and New England recovers, but they will have a 4th down and 6.
He had Cunningham open out there right in front of him.
Wide open.
From the very beginning, you'll see at the top of your screen, number 39 is Cunningham in a flare. Somebody failed to pick him up, and he's got Grogan there. I mean, he's got Cunningham trying to cut back, runs back into his own man. He's not had one of your better nights.
Ran into Don Hasselback, and fortunately Andy Johnson was there to prevent the Baltimore recovery, but it's 4th down, and out comes, well, they do not bring the punting team out. With 6:35 on 4th and 6, the New England Patriots will go for it. Grogan, wide open over the middle, and is Hasselback.
Yes, sir.
Clutch catch. He knew he was going to get popped, and he did by Lyle Blackwood, but the second-year man out of the University of Colorado holds on.
Had good protection, Frank. You see him send back that pocket. He's watching him come across the middle, and he is wide open. He is a good catch.
And we have 6 minutes left as you look at the young man from Colorado.
Of course, he is playing tonight because Russ Francis, the big tight end, has a pulled hamstring. Apparently, Chuck Fairbanks did not feel that he could go tonight. 1st and 10. Grogan again.
Wide open in the middle again.
He attempted Jackson, and he throws it behind Jackson.
Throw it behind him, over him. And as the boos become incessant, as I said, you've got to feel sorry for Steve Grogan. Dreadful night.
6 of 21 for 119 yards. Giving this, it has been a rainy night. The ball slippery. But I know he can't be happy with it. And with New England looming only 6 days away, Sunday night in Oakland.
They leave actually tomorrow.
They leave tomorrow. We'll be there next Sunday night. Following night, we'll be in Chicago for Chicago and Minnesota. On 2nd and 10. Grogan gets in trouble, and all of a sudden he discovers Sam Cunningham, and he goes down in the arms of Bruce Laird. And it'll be 3rd down and a long 2. Seconds ticking away. 5:19, it's counting. New England trailing 27-13. Carlos Pennywall comes in, the rookie from Grambling. He's number 88. A lot of speed, good hands. It's a mighty fine football for Coach Eddie Robinson down that way. Out it goes to Cunningham, and Cunningham wasn't even looking back. Darrell Luce was out there with him.
Had a little breakdown in his protection that time.
That's right. The rush was on him. That time you can't fault Steve Grogan. He had to unload the football, otherwise go down.
But he's now back in a 4th down situation.
4:54 on the clock.
Don't tell me his problem. I've got my own.
Well, you start off every day with a 4th down.
But never punt.
They haven't got you yet, Coach. You're still up there. That's right. No punts.
4th down. 2.5 to 3 yards to go. Grogan appeared to be trying to draw the offsides. He didn't get it. This will be a where do they mark it situation. Cunningham caught the ball.
It just depends on where they mark it is right. And I think they gave him
the first down.
Yes,
gave him the first down.
I think it's a correct call, too. It looked like that's where he was when he first in contact with first made the defensive player.
Ed Simonetti collected Cunningham as quickly as he caught the ball. Drove him backwards.
You know, it has really rained constantly throughout this whole ball game. It started about an hour before.
If it hasn't, you've got a story.
I've got a scoop. I'll give it to the hoop. What paper?
New England keeps it alive. And you know, funny thing about football, when you think about it, this game is just as important as the 16th game of the season will be. And if New England can get on the scoreboard, get back in it, well, this will not be as memorable as the one at the end of the season, but it will count just as much.
He marks it right.
Grogan again on 1st and 10. Over the middle. Oh, Pennywell. Morgan does not hold on. He is really popped there by number 44, Lyle Blackwood.
Stanley Morgan of Tennessee.
I thought it was Pennywell, number 88. I says, what a way to get. This is a tough one. You get those guys that come across the middle. That's where the defensive players love to give you the most room because they can really close in there from all sides on you, and they let him have it. Was that Blackwood that hit him?
Lyle Blackwood, rather. I'm just repeating you.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I think we picked it up in the first quarter.
Right, so Lyle Blackwood.
4:17 to go.
2nd down, 10. Ball inside the 33-yard line of the Baltimore Colts. New England trailing 27-13. Grogan again gets in trouble, gets out.
He's got a man wide open. There he is, right there.
And this is Pennywall, the rookie from Grambling. Inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. And New England, faced with 2 fourth downs, gets out of it. They're threatening now. Pennywall, and this is the man that Eddie Robinson said reminded him so much of another player he had down there, Sammy White, now with Minnesota.
That's a delayed cross route. You see that really he didn't come open until after Grogan had gotten in trouble. A slip tackle.
Watch him bounce off Bruce Laird and still hold on.
You see that Grogan moves out a little bit. Now he's still got some time to go, and Pennywell opens up late. And Bruce Laird gave him a good shot, didn't knock him off his feet.
On 1st and goal. Roll out Grogan.
That's it.
Touchdown, New England. They're back in it with 3:22 on the clock.
Yes, sir. They are back in it.
Well, first they have to make the conversion. Then they got to get the football and fast.
They'll have time. They can stop it with their timeouts. It's going to rest on the shoulders of the defense.
Well, we also have got to get this young fellow number 1, old John Smith, has got to get it through the uprights with a sore leg.
That's right.
And that's who's out there, John Smith. They really did not expect him to do any kicking this evening. He said yesterday after a workout he hadn't kicked at all. He said, my leg is better. And New England is 1 point closer, and John Smith limps off. That's called paying the price. That's the situation.
Here it is again. It was a run all the way. No way was he going to pass. He was going for that goal line.
Great block by Sam Adams. You saw it, number 61. That made it possible.
That graphic you saw is wrong. The score is 27-20, favor of Baltimore. So if New England...
One touchdown and a conversion away.
That's right. If New England can hold, get the football, and get another score, we'll go into overtime in this lovely weather. Meredith will get to bed by 4.
No way.
Baltimore now anticipating the onside kick. The entire special team, the kickoff unit of New England, came over to the sideline, met with head coach Chuck Fairbanks. 3:22 on the clock. An onside kick would not be that necessary if they could depend upon their defense to stop Baltimore.
But they do have John Smith going to kick off, and up until this particular occasion,
then Gerald Wilson.
You're right.
So you can look for an onside kick. Baltimore certainly is. They have all kinds of folks up there.
They really do. They are masked. Look at that.
9 Colts within 15 yards. Now New England shifts a lot of players over to the left. Here it comes. It has to travel 10 yards. It did not go 10
And New England got it. Did not go 10 yards. Is that?
It did.
But it touched the Baltimore player.
Right. At the 43-yard line.
Oh, yeah.
44-yard line, and New England is back in it.
Well, it's Monday Night Football.
That was Ron Lee.
It had traveled the required 10 yards. Mishandled there by Ron Lee. And then the mad scramble was on.
But Marcia-Broda did exactly the right thing. He had his backs up there, and you don't figure them to fumble. They're used to handling the football. But the unexpected happened.
Was that Westbrook has made the recovery for New England after Ron Lee did not handle it. 3:17 remaining. New England, great field position. Their own 44. They have 3 timeouts, as does Baltimore.
Sam bound.
Cunningham.
Now this is what Grogan has to do. He can use the clock now, and to simply go to the pass would be foolhardy. You can break a run, pick up valuable yardage. Too often young quarterbacks go immediately to the pass, and against a stacked defense, against the pass, they can blow the game.
This is Chuck Fairbanks calling this action.
You're right.
2nd down, 7. Out to the right goes Westbrook. To the left goes Stanley Morgan. Tight end, Hasselbeck.
And there he is.
Hole, and Andy Johnson, and Johnson has a first down, 41-yard line of Baltimore. Lyle Blackwood made the save.
It's exactly what I meant, Andrew.
Well, they've got a man down out there. Was that kind of the misdirection kind of play? You'll see that the offensive line, St. Adams, go to his left, trying to influence the defensive line. They did just enough to open up a good hole. The Baltimore player is injured. What are Andy Johnson's stats? He's got to have rushed over 100 yards by now. What is it, Frank?
107 yards on 26 carries. He's done the work tonight for New England.
Stands are now more than half empty. Patriots fans gave up. They left with their boos of Steve Grogan. But those who are still here are now suddenly all approving.
We're not going to speculate on who the injured Colt is. We cannot see his number, so we will not speculate. We'll get the information, give it to you when we return.
Saturday, a great college football doubleheader. Headlining the regional games, two of the toughest teams in the country battle it out for the first time in 35 years. The Michigan Wolverines meet the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Other games include Yale at Brown, Florida State against Miami, Colorado State at Brigham Young. And at 4 o'clock Eastern, a rematch of last year's thriller. Bear Bryant's top-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide tackle the exciting USC Trojans. Check local listings for...
We're back. On the first down, Grogan on the bootleg. He's got an open field with blockers in front of him.
And that's another design play all the way. Quarterback.
Grogan out of bounds, stops the clock at the 11-yard line.
Oh, they love him now.
Doesn't take much to change, does it? And now the fans are alive, those who are still here.
Look at
standing as one.
Straight out.
Grogan draws the cheers of the remaining Patriot fans. Run that dog and the Frisbee back out there. Probably cheer him.
Yeah, you're right. They got big. They got Leon Gray out. Leon Gray's out in front.
Len Kitus is there.
Threw a good block. Len Kitus, you're right. Don Hasselback came over, number 80.
30 yards rushing now for Grogan. This is a different football team. Why they didn't come out like this, you just never know. But they are playing like they can play now. They're a hitting football team. They're an opportunistic team. 2:09, they get the benefit of the 2-minute warning. Handoff, Andy Johnson, who's over 100 yards for the night, gets a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8, and the 2-minute warning will stop the clock. There it is. So Baltimore looked like they had this game pretty well wrapped up. New England hustled back, got the onside kick. And they have a 2nd down and 8. Ball down around the 13-yard line. Grogan comes over to talk it over with Chuck Fairbanks, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Why are car shoppers everywhere deciding on Datsun?
The deal that I got today was great.
I got a good deal with the Datsun. A very good deal.
I walked in and asked for what I wanted, and in an hour I had it.
This is my 3rd Datsun, and as an engineer, I find that it's a well-engineered product. The car's built good.
Before the new cars come out and at the cost of inflation, you know, now is definitely the best time to buy a car.
Year-end deals on Datsun quality. We are dealing.
We are driven.
When you break horses for a living and you do it wrong, they can break you first. But when you do it right, you can turn a terrified animal into a horse a man can count on. And now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life.
If you've got the time,
if you've got the time,
we've got the beer.
Miller Beer.
The situation, 2 minutes remaining to be played. The score 27-20. Baltimore leads New England. 2nd down and 8. The ball down at the 8-yard line. Up comes the Patriots. Grogan, 57 yards rushing on the night, 153 passing.
I'd let him do it again.
Run him again.
And off, and it goes to Cunningham. And Cunningham stops, maybe gets a half a yard out of it. Clock ticking away, and Grogan stops it with a timeout.
Now he comes over to talk to Chuck Fairbanks. There's Steve Grogan and the beginnings of a noose.
And while he talks with Chuck Fairbanks, we'll tell you this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. What goes on down there in those chit-chat days? I haven't been down there in a long time. You've been down there a little more recently.
I think Meredith made the right call. I ought to run Grogan again.
They all have their goal line offenses. Every team has those. They have different plays they run inside the 10. And I would imagine they're going down there and they're saying, okay, what have we done? What do we think we can do? And I'm sure, Frank, that this particular team does have in their goal line offense a lot more quarterback runs and draws and bootlegs. Some of them you don't even have the option to throw. Most of the quarterbacks have the option to run or throw, but with Grogan they try to get a guard or a tackle out in front of him and make it a kind of a misdirection play with the quarterback going the opposite direction.
They have 2 downs to do it. A field goal, of course, will not.
If Ted Marcia-Broda can win this game, he'll not have a bigger victory under the circumstances. A remarkable effort by a beleaguered team. Uncountable number of injuries, the absence of a brilliant quarterback.
3rd down and 8. They can get a first down. Big draw to hold linebackers. Oh, this one he'll just have to throw out of the end zone.
Yeah.
Good coverage. Don Westbrook down there attracted the crowd.
They did have him well covered.
Lyle Blackwood back there. Chris Laird, by the way, was the shaken up Baltimore Colt a moment ago. He walked off under his own power. 4th down. All comes down to this. 1:46 on the clock. Play comes from the bench in the form of Harold Jackson. And you'd almost have to speculate that the Fairbanks would, well, I would think he'd want to give Grogan an option to run or pass.
I would think
in other
you're
words,
right.
Roll him out.
They're almost too far out now. They got 8 yards to go. I would have done it 3 times in a row
with Grogan.
Jackson goes right. Picked up out there. Stanley Morgan is to the left. Jackson is in motion. Grogan. He can't run it in, but a flag goes down in the end zone. Grogan close to a first down. He could get the first down a foot from the goal line, but a flag is down in the end zone. 1:35 on the clock. We're holding against Baltimore.
So New England gets the biggest break of all at the most critical time, as the possibility of overtime becomes greater and greater.
I would say imminent.
And greater.
Marcia-Broda.
He wants to know who and why.
He got his first down anyway.
The receivers were running around trying to get clear in the end zone. Here comes a call.
What happened there?
Defense. First down.
As you heard the call, what happened there proved your rightness from the beginning. Let Grogan run the football.
Well, I don't really think they would have made that much yardage on a design quarterback run, because the whole Baltimore defense would have been reacting at least partially to it. That one was when he couldn't find anybody going open, and that's what you call a scramble. You know, the odds on picking that up are not that good, but with a guy like Grogan, they're better than, say, with a guy like Troop.
So we're looking at overtime for the 2nd consecutive week. 1:35 on the clock. 1st and goal. As a result of the holding call, we did not get the name of the Colt who was guilty of holding, but that is Sam Cunningham. That's his trademark. Touchdown, New England. A conversion away as John Smith limps out on a bad leg for the conversion attempt. Look at it again. Sam Cunningham into the Rose Bowl a few years ago. That body hurtling over. There he is.
Been
walking back at SC.
I've been watching Smith over here on the sideline. He's been warming up, kicking into a net, and it appears, at least from here, that he's swinging that leg fairly smoothly.
Wet ball. We've seen 2 conversions missed tonight. One blocked, one just missed.
That's Dick Kahn, the holder. All-important position, as is the center. 1, 2, and 3. Center it. 1, down 2, up 3. There you go.
There we go.
But still 132, and Baltimore will have an opportunity to get it over with in regulation play. 27-27, and who would have thought it?
That's the truth. It didn't seem remotely possible. But that onside kick was what did the job when Runley fumbled the football.
You are right.
I don't know whether those cars that we can see in the parking lot are leaving or coming back.
They're just standing still, Frank. There's a real traffic problem out there.
They stand still here for 2 to 3 hours. If you're going back to Boston, if you go to Providence, you got a better shot. You're against the flow.
Good reason to have maybe an apartment in Providence. You know, you could always go over there after the ball game.
No, it's a good reason to have a helicopter.
Oh.
New England.
Would you try another onside kick?
Heck no. The odds of getting that first one way up there.
And they have Gerald Wilson out this time. I don't think he is too skilled at the onside kicking.
No, they're not going to risk giving the other side field position, quickly get into field goal position.
That's right. You do have 1 minute and 32 seconds.
Marshall Johnson is deep. Joe Washington is back there. Both of them capable of breaking it. Colts have 3 timeouts. New England has 2. Archibroda had victory. This is Ted Fairbanks. Archibroda, of course, thought he had it all tied up. Holding penalty assessed in the end zone. Gave Baltimore that first down inside the 1. Wilson. This is Joe Washington.
That is Joe Washington.
Look at this.
There it is, Joe Washington.
He stays on his feet. He has great speed.
There it is, Joe Washington.
Oh, this. How can it happen?
What a football game this turned out to be.
How about Joe Washington?
Do you believe Joe Washington's night?
You couldn't have a greater football game, and this Baltimore team has really come to life under the worst possible circumstances, and the guy who's done it is Joe Washington, who has acquired almost quietly. Look at Grogan, Steve Grogan.
The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Oh, boy.
You know, you could sense it. He started right, cut back. Bad coverage by New England, and just keep in mind, he maintained his balance. He has that great speed.
What a night he's had. He's done it all. As a runner, as a passer, as a receiver, and right here as a kick runner. You couldn't ask for more from an individual. One of the finest individual nights we've ever seen on Monday Night Football.
Let's vote him outstanding offensive player.
Washington has had 54 yards rushing, 41 yards receiving, 112 yards on kick returns, but they have all been at critical spots.
And he did it on a wet field under the most onerous playing conditions.
Tony Linhart. They're still 118, and New England has 2 timeouts. Don't turn it off yet. 34-27. And if you ever wonder why a lot of people don't go into coaching, this is one of the reasons. Archibroda saw it disappear. He saw it come back. Fairbanks had the same thing happen to him.
But
what a
look
football game.
We came into this game, you know it, Frank, Don, you know it. We thought we were going to have a terrible game. Expected New England to kill them. Everybody did. Overwhelming point favorites. Instead, an inspired Baltimore team. Their backs against the wall. That man, the coach, Archibroda, protesting optimism. Well, now it's not protest. Colts have scored 27 points in the quarter.
And it's really been the work of Joe Washington and an inspired defense, and the quarterback Bill Troop in the second half. Tony Linhart sets to kick off. This is Ray Claiborne.
In the village of Cross Key, they'll put up a plaque for Washington and remove one for Lydell Mitchell.
Why not?
1:18 on the clock, and New England has 2 timeouts. try to kick it away from Claiborne. Goes to Westbrook. Flag goes down as Westbrook goes down out of the 35-yard line. Flag is down. Clipping, and it's going to go against New England. There he is. Over 5,000 yards of offense at the University of Oklahoma. #1 draft pick San Diego. Knee problems, missed the entire rookie season. Wasn't that scintillating last year. He came back from that injury, but he has been great tonight.
Personal foul, Clipping, number 66. 66.
He doesn't have any knee problems now.
Clipping, an assist against Bob McKay, a recent addition of the New England Patriots. So New England with 1:10 on the clock, 2 timeouts, will begin their hopeful operation at the 15-yard line.
Well, the owner of the Colts can't blame me anymore for the Baltimore Colts plight. They've come back.
Can if he wants to.
He might want to. He's a little angry.
Lesson.
Here we go. Harold Jackson. He's wide to the right. Grogan back. Look out. Grogan just does get it off, and he almost throws the interception. Defensively, Calvin O'Neill was there, and Grogan really got popped.
Maybe Grogan will have to run 85 yards or 86 for a touchdown.
I couldn't see who it was that
I
got
think it was
Grogan.
Luce coming in on the blitz. There he is,
Yes,
58.
sir. Oh, Darrell Luce out of Baylor. He's had a pretty good night tonight.
And that entire defense has really played sparkling football. They only have 4 down linemen. If they would have lost one, they'd have to play the 3-4 all night long. They lost their regular left cornerback, Norm Thompson. So here we go, 2nd down and 10, 1:04 on the clock. Wide open over the middle. Hasselbeck. A big tight end. He has a first down, and now New England must stop the clock. Grogan does just that. Moves over to chew the fat with Chuck Fairbanks. Let's watch Grogan again. And this boy Hasselbeck, the big one out of the University of Colorado, is having himself quite a night. He is big, too. He's 6'7".
Almost can always start with protection. He had a good pocket that time, threw the ball well. One of his better throws, right over the middle. Hit him on the numbers.
55 seconds left. Can you imagine if New England somehow tied it up again?
Hasselbeck was shaken up on that play. He's moved to the sidelines, and in a tight end now is number 87, Al Chandler. 1 timeout now remaining for New England. 55 seconds on the clock. New England trailing 27-34.
And everybody's standing up in the stadium. There's not anybody sitting down anymore.
All 38 of them. Broke a lot of hearts tonight. I imagine those people lined up on the highway listening to the radio to this thing.
Look at that scoring this evening. Oh.
Fourth quarter looks like a pinball machine.
The way it turned out, they should have tried another onside kick.
And it's not over. New England can stop it with timeouts. With their last remaining timeout, only once. Ball is on the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. Grogan, good protection. Goes into the area of Jackson, and it was almost picked off by
Tim Baylor
out of Morgan State.
Awfully hard to get something going down there in that area because the Baltimore secondary is really playing that. They're all playing center field right now. They'll give him those short ones, which in a way, it's not really that short. Go to that medium zone, pick up the ball. As wet as it is, you can slip a lot of tackles out there. Stay away from that real deep one.
They have to dream of a Roger Staubach Hail Mary pass. Remember the one to Pearson against Minnesota?
Oh, yes.
49 seconds left.
2nd down. Grogan has a man out there, and he's open. Morgan
All right.
Sandy Morgan.
There you go.
Boyd Mumford was defending, and Grogan somehow got away from a Baltimore defender, laid it up in the air, 33 seconds on the clock.
I don't believe
And New England is out of timeouts.
Talk about Hail Marys. There it was. Watch this again. Dandy.
Another situation where the ball was not thrown on timing. You'll see right there that Barnes had him, almost had him anyway, got away, and he just threw it as far as he could, and there it is.
Mumford made the save. Now, the situation as we look again, New England is out of timeouts. They have 33 seconds on the clock.
Not a lot of finesse in that pattern. Now he sees the ball coming. He says, I'll be dadgum. Wide open.
33 seconds left. No timeouts left. Now they can't run it, except dire necessity with Grogan scrambling, because they can't let that clock run out.
What a football game.
It's crazy. It's absurd.
If you tune in for the second half, it wasn't always like this.
It was one of the most dreadful ball games we've ever had on a Monday night, and suddenly it became electric, and now it's one of the best games we've ever had on a Monday night.
34-27. New England 1st and 10. They can't stop the clock with the timeout. They have no more. Ball is about the 14-yard line. Morgan now, he's had 3 receptions on the night for 125, and Grogan stats are beginning to improve, just as Bill Troop stats improved here in the second half. Up it goes. The end zone, and is batted away by number 30. That's Doug Nettles.
27 seconds left. Look at Ted Marcia-Brody trying to keep his poise, keep calm.
Grogan now 11 of 32, but 224 yards. We're at night in Foxborough.
In point of fact, the odds favor Marcia-Brody now and his Colts, because you can press. You've got less ground to work with. It's been said so often. Defenses compress upon the offense.
Major decision is whether to try to put pressure on Grogan with some sort of a blitz or try to play back some sort of double coverage on the outside. They're going to go with the double coverage, and they got pressure on him too, but he got away, and it's intercepted.
Intercepted!
That's the 3rd one tonight for Grogan.
Lyle Blackwood!
And this one might go.
This should do it.
Bad throw, loss of poise, panic, everything in that throw.
Grogan, who came in with 4 interceptions, gets his 3rd of the night. That's 7 on the year, and he's a very unhappy youngster.
Now let's take a look. He did get some pressure from this right side. I think that's Dutton that came in there, and I don't really know where that one was trying to go.
He threw it into 3 white shirts. It turned out that Blackwood was the prime target.
Well, he was open.
Hasselbeck, the intended receiver. Blackwood comes up with it. New England cannot stop the clock once Baltimore puts it in play, and there's 12 seconds. This game goes to Baltimore.
A stunning upset victory for the Colts, and this team, which has been known for its excellence through the years, can never have a victory of which it can feel proud of.
Really be interesting to see how they handle the Sunday night game out in Oakland, and we'll be there to bring it to you.
It will be interesting, and I'm sure Oakland was probably as shocked as we were with a tremendous effort by the Baltimore Colts, particularly defensively. And one man, Joe Washington, has in one game realized the potential which he brought to him from the University of Oklahoma. He took it to San Diego, and he had himself some night. 54 yards rushing, 41 receiving, 112, and of course that key return of a kickoff for a touchdown that gave it to Baltimore. Once again, the final score is Baltimore 34, New England 27. Be sure to join us this Sunday night for the first of our 4 special editions of ABC's NFL Monday Night Football at 9 Eastern Time. The New England Patriots against the Oakland Raiders. Then the following night, ABC's NFL Monday Night Football at 9 Eastern Time features the Minnesota Vikings against the Chicago Bears in a key NFC Central Division game. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United built the largest airline in the free world around you. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
Thursday.
Our beach has gone new.
And the girls get in the swing of things. Thank you very much.
And on Taxi, TV's newest hit, Tony gets a shot at the champ.
Not yet.
I hide, you seek.
And a friendly bet becomes a game of death for Starsky and Hutch.
Tomorrow